So, when you're in an environment in which you want to assert yourself or to be knowledgeable in a field or to be in control, such as presentations or negotiations, be prior to walking into those environments, do yourself a favor and ground and then set the intention to open up the third energy center to approximately 80% or set the intention for vitality and control. Have you ever walked into a room and instantly felt your energy shift? Either you expand and open or you contract and close. That's your chakra system automatically responding to your environment. And the question today is, are you in control of it or is it controlling you? I'm Dr. Mary, and this is Energy Medicine, the podcast where science meets spirituality to help you align, expand your energy field. And it's my intention to provide you with practical tools to strengthen your healing journey. In today's episode, we're going to be exploring the 7 lower chakras, the powerful energy centers that shape your body, your emotions, and your overall vitality. You'll learn the theme to each energy center and how to intentionally calibrate your energy, knowing when to open and express and when to close and protect. At the end of the show, I'll invite you to download my free meditation guide, specifically because the first meditation is all about grounding, allowing you to anchor your energy, expand your awareness, and maximize the benefits of the chakra calibration technique that you'll be learning today. Let's begin your journey towards energetic enlightenment and empowered living for right here and right now. Listeners, welcome to the show. I'm Dr. Mary, a seasoned chiropractor with over 30 years of dedicated practice on alternative healing. My passion lies in empowering spiritual women like you with the tools of energy medicine to align with your true self. My professional training in intuition medicine allows me to receive intuitive insights that help support your unique healing. We're going to begin by talking about each chakra. Let's start with the first chakra located deep within the pelvis, the root chakra. It's all about safety, security, and grounding in truth. So, when you are in a risky situation, right? When you're doing extreme sports or traveling alone, you're going to want to open up that chakra 100% for safety, right? Now, let's say that you are in an overwhelming or destabilizing environment and you want to enhance your ability to ground during that situation. That's another example when you want to open up that aperture of that energy center. And quite honestly, because we use the first energy center in order to connect into the Earth's frequency, I really can't think of any specific examples in which you would not be expanding through the space of the first energy center. So that's chakra number 1. Now let's move up into the space just below the belly button, into the space of the sacral chakra. So this is all about creativity and creations and emotions and being clairsentient when you pick up other people's emotions and thoughts and feelings. So when you are actively engaged in a creative endeavor, whether you're artistic or you're doing performance art or writing, you want to open up this energy center and set the intention for creativity. Right? Now, if you're let's take another life example. Let's say that you're going to a concert or you're going to be surrounded by a large group of people. You want to auto-calibrate and dial down the second energy center when you're in these kind of environments so it becomes less overwhelming to you. Okay, open when you want to be creative and dial it down when you're in large groups of people. Also, like for example, when you're in the airport. Move up above the space of the belly button in the upper abdomen, the soft spot just underneath your sternum into the space of the third chakra. And this is known as your solar plexus. This is the place and the space where you maintain autonomy, individuality, and control. So, when you're in an environment in which you want to assert yourself or to be knowledgeable in a field or to be in control, such as presentations or negotiations, be prior to walking into those environments, do yourself a favor and ground and then set the intention to open up the third energy center to approximately 80% or set the intention for vitality and control. Now, if you're in a group environment, just the opposite, when you need a sense of humility or you're working in a collaborative effort, you're going to want to still set the calibration of the third energy center to vitality, but you're going to close it down a little bit so that so that you're not overpowering in a group environment where you want to have a collaborative effort. Let's move up into the space of the fourth energy center, the heart chakra. And we're talking about love and compassion and connection. So, when you are looking to be in a situation for random acts of kindness or that you're looking to cultivate deeper relationships with another person, you want to expand that energy center so that you can open up the pathway, the energy exchange for that two-way communication from the heartfelt center. Now, there's a little bit of confusion. We want to be open in a state of compassion, which is different than empathy, which comes from the second energy center. So when it comes to your heart space, you're going to want to kind of dial it down, right? Or just kind of partially close it when you're in emotionally draining situations. The throat chakra, the fifth chakra. Okay, I love this chakra. For those of you that have spent any time with me, you know that I've spent a lot of energy on this throat chakra. So the fifth chakra is all about communication, authentic expression, self-expression. So when you're in an environment where you want to authentically communicate your desires and your needs, you want to set the calibration for this energy center to be open to 60, 70, 80%. Right? Now, the opposite is true. You want to, when you're in a situation where discretion or discernment is needed, you want to dial down that space a little so that you're a little bit more aware of the words that you choose to speak. If you go up into the space of the sixth chakra, the third eye, this is all about intuition, perception, and wisdom. So when you're looking for insights, like when you're in a state of meditation or problem solving, you want to expand, set the intention for this energy center to be calibrate for clear vision, for clear seeing. Okay. And then you're going to want to dial it down when you're needing a break, if you're getting overwhelmed by the amount of intuitive information or an overload is coming or being downloaded. Your crown chakra, located on the top of your head, is intended to be connecting you in with all that exists and allowing for direct knowing, information just to flow from above down into your energy system. So again, a good example when you're tapping into full expansion of this energy center is when you are in deep meditation, prayer, or contemplation. So when you need to focus, let's say when you need to focus on your earthly tasks and you need to be in your physical body, dial down this energy center. So now that we have an understanding that you have complete control over your energy centers in the calibration to allow the energy to come in from the environment and how you're assimilating and expressing yourself, you have complete control over these energy centers in the calibration of them. So now that you know this, let's talk about a few quote unquote recipes for some common everyday life experiences. And so let's talk about when you're at work. Let's think through this logically. When you're at work and you need to focus, the first suggestion that I have is to set the intention to open up your third solar plexus for confidence, right? This is where autonomy comes from. And then obviously you're looking to focus. So that means your sixth chakra is calibrated for clarity. And then again, if you're looking to communicate in your authentic expression, then your throat center would also be online. What would not be online during a time in which you need to focus at work is your emotional center. So your second energy center, your sacral center, is going to dial down during this life example. So that's when every day when you're at work and you're needing to focus on and concentrate and produce. Now, let's talk about when you want to be in a creative flow. Let's say you're working on a piece of artwork or you're wanting to tap into your creative side of your essence. That's completely different. So that's when you really want to tap into the second energy center, again, allowing you to connect into your deepest desires of your creative expression. Open up the second chakra. The other thing that goes hand in hand with creativity is when you open up the second, you're also going to be opening up your fifth. So you're connecting with your deepest desires within the space of the second chakra, and then you're opening the fifth chakra for authentic expression. They go hand in hand. Now, the other thing that you may want to consider is to calibrate your third energy center, which is all about control and autonomy, and your self worth and self confidence. So, when you're making art, sometimes your confidence bumps up against you. So, in that situation, open up the third chakra as well. So, to recap, we're talking about enhancing creative flow. That means open number 2, number 5, and number 3. Let's talk about, let's say when you're exercising. So it doesn't matter if you're lifting weights or skiing or swimming, you're going to want to, because you're fully engaged within the physical activity of your human home, that means you want to open up your first energy center. Your root chakra should be open 100%. And this will help create more stability and more safety and more physical awareness so that you know what your body is doing in free space at all times. And then the second thing that you want to open up is your third energy center. Why? Because this is where you get your energy. This is where you get your vitality. So during physical exercise, tap into area number 1 and number 3. Now, let's talk about when you are engaged with your spiritual practices. Let's talk about when you're meditating. So, we know this. We want to open up the seventh chakra located on the vortex of the head, the crown. We want to open that 100%. And again, 100% is pretty extreme because that would leave the opportunity for your spirit to exit out of your human home. But when you're in the spiritual domain, you want to expand out the energy center of the seventh. So you could just set the intention instead of saying, I'm open 100%, just set the intention to auto calibrate for connecting into the spiritual realm. The other is the sixth chakra. So you're looking for clear vision or insights, right? Spiritual insights when you're in a meditative kind of contemplating action. Now, let's also remember that I am encouraging all of you to stay within your human home. So you want to have a calibration, a certain aperture set for the first chakra. I don't, again, it's really hard to go in and out of your physical body. So the first chakra is always going to be on board to a certain extent, even when you are meditating. And I can't tell you how many times I've held sacred space for people, and I look at them and they literally have left their human home. And so common. I can't even express how common that is. And I know with every cell of my being that the greatest spiritual transformation happens when you are fully inhabiting your human home. So when you're looking for healing and transformation, please, please do not leave your physical body when you are in a state of meditation. So let's talk about another example. When you're wanting to engage in your relationships and you truly are wanting to come from a heartfelt space, then obviously your fourth chakra should be open and you can calibrate it. And this is something that varies from person to person. Everybody has a different expression of what compassion looks like. Now, let's say, for example, compassion for me might be 40-50% open of the aperture of the heart, where compassion for another person could be 80% open from the heart space. Each person is different, so that's why I'm using some overarching words saying to calibrate, to auto calibrate for you as an individual for love and compassion. And then you're going to want to follow that with auto calibration for authentic expression. So when you're in a heartfelt communication, you want to communicate and have a heart exchange, but you also want to speak authentically. And then, so that's heart number 4, throat number 5. And then you would want to open up the space of the second energy center. Why? Because that's where the emotional body resides. That's where clairsentience is, so that you can have an emotional connection with another human. So heartfelt engagements is 4, 5, and 2. Now, I realize that these are just some really basic life examples, but the seed that I'm wanting to plant for you all is that you can set the recipe, if you will, for many different life situations so that you have more control over how much energy that you are filtering during these experiences, right? So now you consciously know that you can calibrate your energy centers, your chakras. And so the real question that I ask you is, how are you going to use this knowledge? What areas of your life can you apply this in so that it sets the stage for transformation, right? So you're just literally setting the intention to fine tune, to calibrate your energy centers so that you can literally energetically focus your energy for creativity, protection, deep connections. We just talked about all these. It's not just a concept, it's a practice, and it's really truthfully yours for you to explore. Your energy is your power. You don't have to be. No longer are you going to be at mercy of chaotic environments or draining people or unpredictable emotions. You get to decide how open or protected or how energized or grounded you want to be. And so, my words of wisdom is that the more that you practice this chakra calibration, the more effortless it becomes. It's like second nature. So, I invite you to experiment. Try adjusting your energy flow during your next meeting, your next creative session, next time you meditate, or next time you're at a party. And just simply notice how different you feel when you're consciously fine tuning your chakra calibration.